Oops, will they turn this off? What's up, everyone? Mike here. One half of the Millis Boys RC, boys with a Z. Feel free to like and subscribe me here, us on YouTube. And tonight I thought I would just give a few helpful maintenance tips on what to do or how I do it, I guess. That's how I learned everything through YouTube. So I guess what I was going to start with is setting your slipper clutch. Turn this camera around here. That I can subscribe, Millis Boys with a Z. So I'm going to turn my lamp on here. I already have this apart. What I should have shown you how I did this though. Basically, this just slides back in here. Okay. I'll show you this. Whatever this little red thing is called slides in here. You have your drive shaft. The smaller part, see there is a narrower side and a wider side. Narrower side goes towards the front. Trust me, I've put it on backwards and it's just a pain in the butt. It'll work, but to get this, there's not that much clearance right up in here. So yes, I'm going to take that out, and to do so, this will be the first step. You simply push it forward or backward, however you're holding it. Pick it up and, well, now that I got it this far, slide it out. Like I said, I already had this somewhat apart. So this I already had taken out of here. Okay, so to get this out, removed one screw on the bottom, 2 millimeter. All right, bear with me as I'm going to switch this camera around. Okay. And don't get too frustrated. This part is always difficult. I'll show you when I get there. I already took this long screw out from your skid plate, the rear skid plate, 2.5 millimeter, and then there's the 2 millimeter shorter one that goes right in here. I'm going to try and, I don't know, kill a couple birds with one stone here. So I'm going to try and talk about a few different things. So I'm going to loosen these up. Oops, tighten my torque. Again, I am working on the rear end of the vehicle. Little helpful hint, when I take things out, I guess I like to lay them out how they came out, because there's been numerous times when I was first starting out in this hobby that, where the hell does this go, where does that go? So that just helped me. You're gonna have your own way, but okay. Alright, so those screws are all out. It says pull right here. So you're going to simply pull up on this. And wiggle it out a little. And yes, it can be frustrating and a knuckle buster at the same time, but there, now that's out. Your motor, spur gear, pinion gear, you can get all that. set this aside for a minute. Again, 2mm. Take the cover off. And I'm just wondering what's going to be underneath here. I cleaned it out over the weekend or Friday night, but all the snow and everything I've been running this through. As you can see, it looks pretty clean from the last time I used it. Alright. Spur gear. And what I'll do now is I'll just, you have your bearing that's inside of your casing here. I will pop that out just to take a look at it. It's not too dirty, but I will wipe it off, clean it up. Drop it on the floor, of course. Jim's Bearings, jimsbearings.com if anyone's looking for a good set of bearings. And what I'll do also is I will check to make sure it spins free. I know it looks like I'm picking my nose or something here, but I'm not. I'm just checking to see if it spins free. Alright. And then I'm going to grab some cleaner. And I'll just give it a little spray in here. Gotta grab the right stuff. Either or. I'm just trying to clean this up the best I can. Get all the dirt, grime out of there. If there's any residue, rust. Clean the bearing off. And put that back in. Okay. So now that's clean. Just going to take a rag and go around the inside in here. Clean that off. I'll have a little brush, and what I'll do, if there looks like there's some rust on the pinion gear, I have some, well, basically it's like a dry film lubricant. What I'll use is, I love the LPS brands. Spray it on there. Take your little brush, clean that up. Get any residual rust off the top of there, and should be good to go. Alright. Like I said, I just cleaned this up on Friday, so it should be pretty good. I'll take a look at this bearing. A little dirty. I'll clean that up. Wipe the shaft down on the slipper clutch and put that back on. I have no idea what this thing is called, so call it what you will, the black cap thingy. That's what I'm putting back on. Alright. So, I already messed up. Put the bearing back on the wrong side. Oh no, I had it on the right way. Take your bearing, put it back in here. Alright, good to go. Spur gear. Side with the slots goes in towards the motor. Then that little black cap thing goes back over the top of it. Okay, so that's all cleaned up. I cleaned this up before the cover. Alright, line them back up. Clean it up a little, and I will take this. I'm going to set the torque way down. Again, I'm using this Genesis 7.2 cordless drill. I'll run these screws in. Saves a lot of hand wrenching. Then I usually go back and double check it by hand. I'll loosen it up and then just snug it down manually. Alright, but anyways, this is how I do it. You have your slipper clutch in there. It's 2mm. So you're going to need your 2mm hex head. I believe factory setting is tighten all the way and then 1.5 back. How I run it, I'll take my hand, 2 fingers, and I'll hold it on that slipper or the spur gear. I'll tighten that down. I usually run it about 1/2 to 1/4 turn back. Alright, so I got it about 1/2 to 1/4 turn back. It's all back together, cleaned up. Now I'll go in here. Try and clean everything up again. I'll take this dry film lubricant. Clean up the best I can. And that's done. My slipper clutch is all cleaned. Pinion gear is all clean. The bearings are clean. But now we have ease of access right here to our rear differential. And I'm not going to take this apart since I did on Friday. But it is possible, and I'll show you this too now. What I will do is I will take the wheels off. Actually, what we have here is you have access to your differential like I was saying before. There's a screw on this side. Right here. And there's a screw right down there. You can actually get at them without having to take anything else off. You can undo those. Okay, bear with me. I'm going to set my phone down. Those are also 2mm. so you can get at them, see, from this side. And you can also get at it from this side. And that way, if you want to clean out the bearings in here, this will all come apart. Get at your differential. Obviously, you're going to have to take more apart if you want to clean out the bearings in your differential and whatnot. But these, let me show you. Right here, this bearing, and there's one behind it, are the ones that'll usually get dirty. The ones inside of the differential, you typically do not have to worry about. Well, they're full of grease and whatnot. So now that, let's just say I'd clean those off. Push it back together. Now in reverse order. Yeah, I was very, well, I guess you could say afraid to even take this thing apart, you know, when I first started, but Arrma makes it so simple. Basically put it back together. You have your 2 screws underneath your skid plate. Those are 2mm. Turn this down. It's kind of a pain in the butt, so everyone can see, but the way I'm holding it. Okay. The differential cover's all back together. Well, not the differential cover, but I don't know, whatever the technical name is for it. I don't know. So now it's time to put the motor back in. So basically, reverse process. And it goes in a lot easier than it comes out. Let's see, okay. I can do this one-handed. There we go. It's in. There's a little latch on there where it'll click over once it's in. Now, take this again. Oops, get my finger out of the way. Reverse order. Slide that back in. There's that one screw on the bottom. Holds that in place. Again, 2.5. Two and a half for the skid plate on the rear bumper. What we got going on here? It's a little over tightened. Oops, hold on. So I'll back it out. Snug it down. Same width. larger one. Good to go. All right. Well, I guess since I have you this far, I don't want to do all the Loctite and all that crap again. So, but what you'd want to do, if you want to check the other bearings, right here, 1.5 millimeter. Loosen that up. Oh, that is dirty in there. All right, let's just go ahead and do it. Your 14 millimeter hex comes off. Got that little pin in there. And as you can see, my gym's bearings are beautiful and clean. So I'm not even going to take that apart. But what you would have to do is I try and do the least amount of work possible, obviously. I think for back here, all you need to do is take this steering block right here, this screw out, and that'll allow it to swing up far enough where you can just pull this drive shaft out, because that'll flap down far enough. But with the front wheel, I believe, again, you just have to take everything else off. The hex, 14 millimeter hex, whatnot. But you have to take this one off right here, allowing the C hub and whatnot, it would flop open far enough where you just be able to pull the shaft out, axle out. So yeah, I guess that's all I have for you right now. I guess I can show you how to put it back together a little bit more. What I will do is, for the hex, you have a little 1.5 millimeter grub screw. Tiny. You're going to need some Loctite. Make sure you have Loctite. The blue stuff. Just a little dab will do you, or a lot of dab. I'll put that pin back in. Center it. Turn on like so. Wipe the excess Loctite off. Like this. There. And I will wipe that excess Loctite off of the top of the hex. It's all golden again. Alright. Tires can go back on. Wheels. Hope y'all enjoyed. Like and subscribe, Millis Boys RC. Trying to get a little thing going here for my little man. He loves it. The whole RC thing, and don't forget to wire it back up. What can you see? All right. And what I did too is I just put a little twist tie around here. I made sure they all lined up. Colors. Hold on, set you down. I'm going to put these in. Okay. Alright, and just put a little twist tie on here. Helps keep them out of the way. And I also some Gorilla Tape and put it here. And I also put some right here too, because these fins are obviously sharp. So if you're running it and it rubs against like so, it's gonna tear that up pretty bad. It's a little helpful. I got from somebody else and I thought I'd share with you. Oops. Well, I guess that's it for right now. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to put everything back together. Like I just did not do. Alright. Alright, remember I said the narrower part of the drive shaft goes towards the front of the vehicle. Basically all I have to do is sandwich it down. Give yourself a little room and make sure you're on both sides. And look at that, I forgot something. Shocker. Alright, so you know this can be done very easily. I forgot to put that back on the rear bumper. Done this numerous times. Okay? You don't need to take everything off. 2 screws. Because it will flex far enough, the T-bone bumper. That you can put that back on without having to take the whole thing off. See, that'll open up pretty easy. I should clean that off a little bit. Alright, take this. Slide it back over the hinge pins. There we go. Comes in. Larger one, again, 2.5. Everything's pretty much 2.5. And I'll go back and hand tighten or loosen, depending on what it needs. Oh crap, I will need to loosen up a little bit. Boom. Done. Alright everyone. Here's my little workshop. Got any questions? Like to see a different video? Feel free to like, comment. I'll do what I can in my free time. As you can see, my free time is filled with RCs. Alright everyone. Later. How does it go again? Don't just bash, blast. Peace.